Welcome back to Tokyo, continuing coverage of the Round 1 Japan Cup, the final tournament of the 2012-13 PBA Tour season. We've reached our semifinals. 3 of the 4 semifinalists are JPBA players, and we begin with our first semifinal matchup, Randy. Shinichi Horie and Yuya Kato.
And Horie beat Sean Rash in the quarters by 1 pin, but in this match against Kato, he would struggle. Misses the baby split in the second, then another split here in the fourth. Kato, on the other hand, he started off quick. He doubled in the first and second frames. Then he goes 9 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, followed by another 4-bagger. He was making great shots, figured the pair out, throwing 2 different bowling balls, and he would win this match 236 to 195.
Yuya Kato advances to the title match, and who will join him? American E.J. Tackett or JPBA player Kazuaki Watanabe. And we move to our second semifinal. And the whistle begins play.
When you're bowling a professional event in Japan and you hear the whistle, the heart rate goes up just a little bit.
Tackett surviving against Tommy Jones after the missed single pin has advanced to the semifinal, the last hope for Americans to reclaim the Japan Cup. Member of Team USA back in 2011, and towing the line here in our semifinal. Kicks the 10-out strike. Opening shot for Tackett.
A lot of games have been bowled on this championship pair, but the pair still looks like the oil pattern's holding up nicely. 41 feet in length.
Kazuaki Watanabe, 28 years old, 4th year as a JPBA pro. Defeated Chris Barnes handily in a quarterfinal match. Now advancing against Tackett. Opening shot here in the semifinal. And comes up a bit high. Gets rid of the 9. Just the 4-pin remains.
Bowled a real nice game against Barnes, shooting 278. Catches a nice break here to start this match, only leaving the 4-pin and not the 4-9 split.
Watanabe 38th in the 2013 point rankings before this Round 1 Japan Cup. Sizes up, lines up on the 4-pin. And a spare conversion for Kazuaki Watanabe. Finished 19th in the 2013 Tokai Open.
And what's so interesting to me is that the 3 remaining JPBA players, not one title, not one win between the 3 of them. It's just amazing that they've made it this far, and it's really a testament to their talent in just showcasing what they can do and how much the game has changed over in Japan.
Strike for Watanabe. A lot of the players say that the evolution, Randy, of the game is progressing. The straight players used to dominate. Now players seem to be imitating the American style. They can bowl and they're good spare shooters.
Well, you see that in Watanabe's game, where he's got a little bit higher rev rate, more ball speed, higher backswing. You know, that's kind of more of the U.S. power game, or the world power game, I should call it now, because certainly it's not just a U.S. thing anymore.
Tackett the second, opening double for E.J. Tackett, who admitted to a little bit of pressure, being the only American here to reach in the round of 4.
I didn't think he felt any pressure.
Certainly didn't feel it on that shot. Drops 10 back, so now short lead here for Tackett as we work the 3rd frame, Round 1 Japan Cup. Mike Jakubowski with Hall of Famer Randy Peterson, and '89 Japan Cup winner. 3rd frame. Mixing strike and front 3 for E.J. Tackett.
Well, this is why you put power and speed on a bowling ball, so you can carry the off hits. You know, a ball that doesn't enter perfectly in the 1-3 pocket, you still want to be able to carry all 10 pins. EJ did it right there.
Watanabe working in the 3rd frame on the strike. And he's got a double. Cuts the lead in half.
Nice looking shot here. You see that high backswing, snaps that wrist and elbow at the bottom. That's what creates the revolutions. That's 10 in the pit.
So Watanabe up in the 4th frame. A strike here can even the match. Semifinal. Winner advances to face Yuya Kato for the title here at the Round 1 Japan Cup. Light hit. Shakes him out. Even match.
Now, we talked about it earlier, but let's not forget the amount of pressure on these Japanese players like Watanabe, like Kato. So much pressure because this tournament has been dominated by the U.S. players. And a Japanese player, well, the last time a Japanese player won this event, 1988.
Tackett does not have the front 4. 10-pin remains.
You know, MJ, I always thought it was more difficult bowling at home in front of friends and family. Now, take that to another level. Imagine bowling in front of your entire country. I mean, this in essence is what it's like for the 3 remaining JPBA bowlers.
Tackett picks up the spare, and further the added pressure of bowling on television. EJ said he learned from his first televised appearance in Milwaukee to try to keep the moment the same no matter the situation. How tough is it to do that so early in your televised bowling career?
Oh, it's unheard of. You're not supposed to know how to do that when you've only made your second show. That's stuff that you learn over time, and you learn it through experience.
A lot of confidence in EJ Tackett. 5th frame. Light hit and a bucket. 2, 4, 5, and the 8.
You see just how deep EJ is playing. That ball's getting laid down right next to the left gutter. It's down right about the 1-3 pocket and then just bails.
Tackett on the spare. Randy really enjoyed competing here. He says it's a different atmosphere. When you won here, what was the atmosphere? EJ says that the fans are just so much more into the matches.
Yeah, it was a lot of the same. You know, it was just the celebration afterwards, the ceremonies before, just how much tradition and how much attention they pay to detail. And you know, the bowling centers look a little bit different, even though the lanes are still 60 feet in length and there's still 10 pins. But you know, it's just different. But I tell you what made it special were the people.
Four in a row now for Kazuaki Watanabe, attempting to defeat Tackett for an all JPBA final in the Japan Cup. 5th frame, looking to extend his lead. Light hit, shakes it out.
Great shot under the circumstances, all this pressure on Watanabe. He throws a great shot here, mixes a rack up, and now has a 25-pin lead.
Kazuaki Watanabe looking to extinguish the hopes for the Americans and return the Japan Cup to home soil. Will EJ Tackett be able to remain in the tournament? Find out next when the Round 1 Japan Cup continues in Tokyo. Welcome back to Tokyo, Japan, continuing coverage of the Round 1 Japan Cup, final event of the 2012-13 PBA Tour season. Halfway home through our second semifinal, EJ Tackett trails to Kazuaki Watanabe. Now Tackett up in the 6th frame, working on a spare. And strikes in the 6th.
He gave that one a little bit of trust to the right. Watch this. That one went out to about, the 6th or 7th board on the right there. Little 5th arrow to the 6th board and back.
It's a key shot of this semifinal match here as Tackett steps up with an opportunity to double and cut into the Watanabe lead, looking to advance to the title match against Yuya Kato. 10-pin stance.
Good shot. Good shot, bad result. I mean, he's a good 7 or 8 boards left of his opponent, maybe farther at the laydown. That's because of the power and revs that he has, but it's not helping his pin carry any.
Nice pickup. 10-pin spare for E.J. Tackett. And now Watanabe with a lead, a strike up, and an opportunity in the 7th frame to put immense pressure on Tackett. He's struck 15 out of 18 today.
Yeah, remember 278 against Chris Barnes in the quarters. Watch the laydown of this ball here. Watch how much farther right it is than E.J. Tackett's laydown area. It's a good 10 boards right.
Strike. And a 35-pin advantage. 3 frames remaining.
Less revolutions, a little softer hand at the bottom of the stroke allows him to play a little bit farther right.
And a rare fist pump out of Watanabe, perhaps sensing a victory here and returning the cup home. Work to be done. 8th frame, big lead for Watanabe. And light, everything but the 8.
There's that tricky left lane that is a little tighter down the lane. And as the players move in and they start to open this lane up, it tends to hang a little down lane. I think he's very pleased with the outcome of that shot. He probably missed a little bit right of target. So just leaving the 8 pins, a nice break.
Spare conversion for Kazuaki Watanabe in the 8th frame. Tackett must perform in the 8th, 9th, and 10th if he'd like to put any pressure on Kazuaki.
Crowd's sounding like they're starting to get a little bit more into it the closer we get to the final match. Oh, man.
2-8-10 split.
You might as well put a bow on this match and hand it over to Watanabe, because unless EJ can somehow figure out a way to make the 2-8-10 and strike out, his tournament is over.
Gave it a run. Open frame for Tackett. And now a huge lead for Kazuaki Watanabe.
Creates so much speed with his footwork, trying to throw the ball hard. You can see him get up on his toe there, trying to throw that 2-8 over into the 10 pin.
So now the best E.J. Tackett can do is 221 foundation frame. Didn't like it off of his hand, and a 210 split.
Yeah, back-to-back open frames potentially. And this will be the end of E.J. Tackett's tournament, albeit a very nice showing in another TV show for the young 21-year-old.
And for the home crowd, a return of the Japan Cup no matter what happens in the title match.
The first time in 25 years that a Japanese professional bowler is going to win the Japan Cup.
It's an open frame for Tackett, but still a performance to be remembered. A top 4 finish in your first international trip. And a star of tomorrow competing today. Now Watanabe with an opportunity to work without duress here in the 9th and 10th on his way to the title match. Important here for a number of different standpoints. Maintain rhythm, maintain line. There's a lot of different factors to consider when you have a few extra balls to play with.
Yeah, and you know, he's locked in on that right lane. It's the left lane that's kind of been a little bit tricky for both players, although Watanabe with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. He looks pretty solid on both lanes. But you're right, he wants to make sure that he stays dialed in. He's got one more match to bowl and one more match to win to claim the Japan Cup title.
Best previous finish in any tournament has been 8th place, and he will eclipse that here today. Finishing up in the 10th frame, Kazuaki Watanabe and Yuya Kato will compete in the title match for the Round 1 Japan Cup. And Kato will join him shortly at the conclusion of this semifinal. And history will be made as the Japan Cup will return home. Fill ball remaining for Watanabe. And Kato staying loose off to the side.
Just imagine the feeling and the pressure that Watanabe and Kato are going to experience in this upcoming match with everything that's riding on it, the money, the prestige. Do you have any idea what a big deal it is to be the Japan Cup winner and be Japanese and live in Japan? That's a big deal. I mean, it was big for me when I won, and I'm not even Japanese.
And now either player has a title to their credit, and someone is going to walk home with the Japan Cup. As the Japan Cup will return home, will it be Yuya Kato or Kazuaki Watanabe? All Japan final coming up next.